Let's talk about, I suppose, what's most important right now. And I wrote about this a little while ago. The metaverse is, I don't know, I'm not going to try and guess how many years old, but for most people, it's only a couple of years old, because for most people, they only heard about this when Facebook renamed to Meta. I mean, I talk about the fact that I used to be talking about the metaverse several years before this in the business that I'm in now, and people thought I had three heads. They just didn't understand it. Out comes Mark, renames it, and everyone goes, bang, okay, right. It's the future of the internet. We understand it now. Great. All the hype into it. The coins were going bananas. And yeah, I think a couple of years went by, and just a few weeks ago was this New York Times article going, the metaverse is turning into the metaverse, and saying, oh, it's not going to be there, and blah, blah, blah. And my article, which started off was, oh, the metaverse is dead, pack it up, we're going home. Well, hang on, is it that simple? Because at the end of the day, these transformational technologies do not happen in 1 or 2 years. I've always called it the name we are giving right now for the future evolution of the internet. And there are thousands of amazing companies building incredible stuff that will only really come to eventuality many years into the future. I also think there's a significant technology hurdle that we had to get over. Tell us your thoughts.
Right. So, as I said before, the metaverse as an infrastructure, there are many layers to this. Defining the metaverse by its surface, which is the part that's the consumer sees, so the platforms that are available, Fortnite, Roblox, Decentralized, Sandbox, Nike Swoosh, or Microsoft Mesh, and so on, it's very superficial. There is a deep and thick number of layers that compose this infrastructure that is not ready yet for prime time. So many of those platforms have already a lot of functionalities, but their full vision of the metaverse, where all those platforms will be interconnected together, where we're going to be able to bring our identity from one platform to the other, transact with the cryptocurrencies and digital money. All of those use cases will be enabled when all the layers that compose this infrastructure will be completed. And as I said before, is a moonshot. And as Kennedy in the 60s says, we want to go to the moon. And in order to make it happen, in 10 years, they had to invent GPS and celestial navigation systems, lightweight composite material, microchips. And those components right now are literally at the base of everything that is around us. Everything. From the material of our houses, to mobile phones, to the way that we travel with our car, and so on. The kind of innovation that are going to be needed in order to enable the digital identity, the automatic moderation, the transaction, the high-speed, the synchronous, hyperscaled networking of millions of users on the same platform, on the same infrastructure, the computing power that is needed for that, the broadcasting of the images to lightweight, inexpensive devices that will receive the images computed in the cloud, because obviously you cannot burn the people's faces with a massive processor and graphic card slapped to a pair of glasses. All of this will require a huge amount of innovation. And the companies that right now are operating in creating intellectual properties, technologies, and inventions that will power and fuel this revolution that is going to be the metaverse, are accumulating an invaluable technology and intellectual capital that in 10 years from now is going to pay back. So those companies that right now are derided by many, saying, oh, the metaverse failed, the metaverse is the metaverse, are going to be the Amazon of the future. Amazon got losses for 9 years, 10 years, I think, 9 years, before being profitable. Because nobody believed in the fact that they were going to be able to create a global supply chain of products and a global marketplace that is going to be powered by cloud technologies. Now, Amazon is one of the most valuable companies in the world. And the same thing is going to happen for many of the players that are going to enter the market, because they're working on technologies that are associated with the metaverse. OpenAI as well. OpenAI is one of those companies. When Sam Altman created OpenAI in 2015, and he said, we want to work on artificial general intelligence, people were laughing. Yeah. Now see what happened with ChatGPT-4. It's crazy. So we are living in a landscape that is valuing the stock price more than the strategy behind the business, the long-term vision and strategy. Let's not forget about it.
Absolutely.
Investors that are panicking because a company like Meta that announced that they were pivoting into metaverse technologies in October 2021 and in the first quarter of 2023 were not turning over some big profits. It's obvious that the investors are panicking and they're asking to the board of directors to make some changes to the business. But let's not forget that, as we said before, this is a moonshot. This is going to require some time. We're building an infrastructure here. We're not just building a platform. We are building a full ecosystem that has to be interconnected. We need standards. We need regulations. We need transformational use cases and so on. The fact that Meta announced that they were pivoting towards the metaverse doesn't mean that they were not doing business as usual. Facebook was still online, Instagram was still online, WhatsApp is still online, and so on. They said that they were going to invest a huge amount of money and capital in research and development of innovative technologies that probably in 10 years from now will make them become the next Amazon.